She got that granuloma in her tits. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I would let so many people ride me. Strap on, reverse doggy. Hi guys, welcome back to the Messy Girl Hotline, where I've actually got notes for this week. It's been a long week. I am drained. I've worked 6 days straight. Life updates. Is there anything new? I don't know. I saw my friend Marika yesterday, but she told me to watch Baby Girl, so I might. Which is really funny because we were actually having the conversation about 365 Days, how we quote that film all the time. But come here, baby girl. It was such a phenomenon in Western culture, but then when you come to the East, it's like, this is your next door neighbor. This is your next door neighbor and your teacher. This is very... Oh, also, for the people that aren't watching the video, I have a blowout. Look at it! Look at it. I feel like swaying in the wind. Why did I shake my tits? I feel like shaking in the wind. It's like luscious lax. I feel like Rapunzel. Life is okay. Is it weird that I believe Rapunzel should be played by a Desi girl? It just makes sense to me. We'll get into that another time. Number 1. Should I start with the music I've been loving this week? Or should I start with art? My thoughts on art. Music. As we know, my love for country music is high. Love for thought music is also skyrocketing. Every single time I eat a full meal before I have to come here, before I film, and then I start fucking regurgitating my food. I'll never learn. Just say I'm a fat ass. Just say I'm fat. Gucci Mane and Blue Strips by Jessie Murph. Number 1. Blue Strips, I feel like a bad bitch. Me throwing blue strips. Bare tits in the strip club, throwing ones like your bitch, and you know what I said going on. Yeah, I feel like a fucking bad bitch. Anyway, that is a complete shift. It is like tits, ass in the club, shaking in your face, dancing on someone else's shoulders. That is getting on a table being like, I am that hot shit. That is the summer anthem. Then you change it over to Gucci Mane. I cried a little when I listened to it the first time. Again, I'm completely fine. It's like a gut-wrenching ballad. And I saw so much discourse on the internet about it, being like, oh, but it's a bad song. When it comes to music, you are either a beats, like a sound listener, or you're a lyricist. You're a person that likes the lyrics. And I think the third genre of that is if you relate to it. If it hits deep is when you relate to it, or at least it resonates with you in some way. Yes, I'm wearing a cowboy hat. Fuck off. So... not only this song, it only is it's good, amazing. It's fucking amazing. But it's good because it hits home for so many people. And if you think it's a bad song, you've never slept naked in a field, passed out at a young age. Okay, you don't get it. I throw it in a pot and mix it with the thought of losing all I've ever had and losing all I've ever fought for. Then I get high and wonder what it's all for. I write songs about my father and the fucked up shit he did. I take one out the chamber because I'm learning to forgive. I'd rather not throw him right under the bus, but I'd used to wish that someday he'd get hit by that bus. I would like to not be bitter and not take that back. I prefer it sweet, but I still take my coffee black. It's 4 a.m. and I wake up in a sweat, paranoid that someone's there. It's only just the wind. My forehead is on show. If it just doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. And you know what? Suck my little nuts. Suck my little nuts. Why don't you just suck my little nuts? If you don't get it, take... suck my little nuts. That and JP Sax. It sounds really stupid. You may know him from the song If the World Was Ending, but I have been obsessed with him for a very long time, and especially both of his albums. Shit, he came out with a new album. Save! His 2 albums, Dangerous Levels of Introspection and A Grey Area. I absolutely love his music. He just kind of gets it in a specific way. Caught Up on You is one of the cutest... it kind of gives Bruno Major vibes, but in more of a funny lyricist, a funny poet way. The same way that Phineas, he's not really a ballad singer, but he makes really funny, clever music. One of my favorite, on Caught Up on You, one of my favorite lines is, what the fuck is wrong with my stomach? Am I gonna have to shit myself? There is some serious digestion happening in my stomach right now, and it is bad. From Caught Up on You, one of my favorite lyrics is, You're high, you're talking about communism. I'm high and I want to go down on a communist. I think my kink is intellectualism. Foreplay with songs set to a 6/8 time rhythm. I've always thought about this. A lot of artists, I know they are artists and they are, I guess in a way, like spoken poets. Like it's not really, we don't really have that form of music anymore that's very ballad. Like if you listen to Fuiza, she is genuinely, I think, one of the most sick artists out here. Her vocal range is amazing. But then when it comes to like somewhat popular artists that are also, they don't really like sing, they don't really belt. But I know they are writers for a lot of other artists, which is insane. Sick, I mean. But I do also really enjoy their kind of like slam poetry spoken word songs. Like Bruno Major does it a lot. He does it a lot. And the song Tension from his 2021 album, Dangerous Levels of Introspection, absolutely insane. Love it. You guys should listen to it. Apart from that, they have literally just been on repeat. I'm the type of person where I will just listen to a song and repeat until I hate it and then come back to it like 2 years later. Sorry, not sorry. Apparently that's not a normal thing. So you know what? Suck my little nuts. Suck my little nuts. Starting with my points of the week. Whilst working, sometimes I'm listening, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I have my headphones in, sometimes I like sitting there in complete silence. And when I do sit there in complete silence, I have these random thoughts. A new hobby of mine that I'm going to try out. I've done art, I've done drawing, I've done painting, I did watercolors a couple of months ago. Really cute. And I don't mean this is like an ADHD rant of like, I just have to I have to keep finding something to do. Like, no, I just really like creating. And I mean, I've decided to get into oil pastels. That is something I have been really scared of for a really long time. I never thought I would be good at it, and I haven't even started yet. I never thought I'd be good at it, and I never really thought I would even excel, so I never tried. And recently, I've kind of been on this trying stuff out kick. Like, not only have I been doing the things I'm absolutely terrified of, I started a podcast, I've been doing modeling shoots for multiple different brands. I'm out there and actually putting myself out there, and I'm messaging these brands and I'm doing these things and they're messaging me back, and it's like I'm actually getting I'm actually getting the recognition I deserve. Like, no, I'm actually putting myself out there, and these people I've met, I've spoken to, I've built like a bond with, they actually want me to work with them. And before I used to think, well, why would they? It's like, Gab, like these people, they know you. Of course they would want to work with you. I just had to kind of put myself out there, and I'm going to do something really scary, which is so weird, right? Because I don't know why my brain is like this. Next week, I'm going to an influencer event on my own, gala, blowout, amazing hair, red carpet event. Really fun. Privileged. Amazingly privileged to be there. Ooh! This time I'm going alone and I don't have a +1. Have I gone to events on my own before? Yes, I have. Has it been fine? Have I done shoots with YSL? Yes, I have. Have I done interviews in public for people? Yes, I have. Why am I so scared of an event that I've been invited to? I don't know. Could it be the fact that I don't know anyone, but the people that I do actually know, I hate? And here's the fucking tea. Here is the tea that I just keep putting off about influencer events. They are shit. And I don't mean the influencer events in general. I am so privileged to go. I enjoy it every single time. I love it, and I love making content for these brands. I truly love them. The people, can we please? I know it just feels like high school again. It genuinely feels like high school, and I'm being pushed into a bush and getting like stuff thrown at me. It is horrible. Horrible. They chat shit about you, they comment on your waist, they get fucking jealous. It is just a room full of jealousy half of the time. And I don't know why. We are all doing the same thing. We are all still probably working. One person's making more of you. One person's probably has more followers than you. Who gives a fuck? But some people, and you know what? I get it. Some people are not my crowd. Some people are going to be really mean. Who cares? There is times that people have either broke my equipment, stolen my stuff, pushed me out the way, got into each shot. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm so sorry you're in my shot. I mean, gets into it, ruins the entire thing, ruins the whole background, ruins the backdrop, all this shit. And I'm like, excuse me, we were doing something, trying to be nice, even though they're already a self-centered bastard. And they're like, what, do you want pictures with me? No, I don't want pictures with you. I want pictures of me. Me! Dude! How up your own ass can you be to barge in here, break my shit, and then be like, oh, you want a picture of me? Yeah, saw, dude, I can give you a picture of me. That is not one time that has happened. That is multiple times that has happened. And I've given it chances so many times. Like, I can go with my friends and I can have fun and I can do everything I need to do and I can just go and then leave and, but sometimes these people are so teenage, like, it sounds really stupid, but like teenage angst or jealousy or anxiety half of the time that they are just complete assholes to you. Like, I can get along with the management team, I can get along with the owner, I can get along with the fucking CEO. These people are coming up to me, hugging me, calling me by my name. I know these people. I love these people. I love what their brand stands for, and I will always be there to support them. But can we please get someone on the door? Or at least filtering out these assholes that have, like, basically just built up a following of, like little girls, and I mean little 12 and 13-year-old girls that are following them because they're like, yeah, so I post like a first trap and I'm so cool and I drive a Lambo. No one gives a fuck, dude. No one gives a fuck. Suck my little balls. So I'm privileged enough to go to an influencer event next week, and a specific type of group is going to be there. I'm just going to ignore them, and I text my friends, and I was like, are you guys going? And they said, go. You were there, and you were one of the first people that they invited. Go, head into the event, get on the red carpet, do everything that you need to do, introduce yourself to people like every single time. They want you there, and they want you there because they value you. They're probably just plus ones. And I said, you're right, yes. Shoot the content, do my job, shoot the content, do your job, which is true, I'm there to do a job, I'm not there to have fun, I'm there to do a job, and just move on with it. And I said, you know what, you're right. This isn't high school anymore. They're not going to throw me into a bush, they're not going to ridicule me, they're not going to make me feel bad for earning the right to be here. Because I've put the work in for years to be here. It's slow growing. And I am so grateful for every single person that supports me and every single person that genuinely cares and remembers certain details and actually is along for the journey. The people that I meet that are like, oh my god, I've been watching you since Italy. Oh my god, I can't believe Paul did this. It fuels me with fire and warms my heart. I have a loving and caring community. And I'm going to walk into that event, head held high, and I'm not going to let them bully me. I'm not. So, what was the point of this? So, wait, hold up. What was the point of that little rant? I've been getting into art, and I don't know why, but pastels have always been something I'm really scared of to even try. And I don't know why, but we're gonna try it. So I bought some A3, I bought the pastels, I'm gonna start doing that, and next week I will show you the art that I'm trying out, or at least something that I've tried out. I'm really excited. And I'm really glad and I'm very proud of myself to be experimenting in so many different aspects of my life. And if I can get onto another platform and put myself out publicly, I'm sure I can conquer some messy art. Like, I've done everything. I've done clay and I've done karate and archery and drawing and swimming and gym and whatever. I've done so many different things. And the thing is, this was like a kind of random thought I was having on the way to work one morning. I want to be good. I think there's so many times that I've put off doing something because I want to be good. And I don't mean good enough that it suffices. It sounds really like noteworthy in a way, but I've tried out so many different things. I've never been remarkable, excellent, or even, like, it's never been memorable in a way. And I don't know this self-criticization that I've put upon myself, but I don't want to be just good. And I have a fear that I am just good about so many different things. And I know talent takes time and energy, and especially time. But as much as I'm going to keep trying to do these hobbies, I quit too quick. And that is the issue. Sometimes I think I kind of get into my own head and then I kind of convince myself I'm not destined for greatness in this activity. That's kind of what leads me to getting into my own head and kind of having that self-doubt. Like, I want to be better than good. I want to be remarkable and I want to be excellent. I want to be memorable in a way. I want people to be disappointed in me when I don't turn this talent into a career. I want them to sympathize with my art and my words with everything that I've created and put my passion and talent into. But when it comes to everything, I feel like I am just good and I'm meant to be just good. And it was a really weird thought I had on the way to work. And not to like criticize myself in like an oblique way, but it's just, I don't know. I see everything in black and white. Everything is black and white to me. There is not if, buts, or maybes in a way. I'm not talking about if, buts, and why did I turn into my cousin? I don't do if, buts, or maybes. I don't know. I see everything in black and white. It is either good or bad. And a lot of people, when I say that to people or they kind of see it firsthand, they're like, no, but it's not that. It's like, no, I know it's bad, but I see the good in it. Like, it's not like optimistic in a way. It's just more, I know it's bad and my brain's telling me it's bad. Like, it is a coping mechanism to whatever is going on in my brain. But like, my cat could die. And I could be absolutely distraught. Like, I mean, on the floor distraught, freaking out, trying to hurt myself because I'm insane and I go to the extreme at every single given point. And it's kind of like out of my control. But then as soon as it passes, it immediately is like, oh, I loved her. No, that's okay. I can make new memories with a new animal when I'm ready, but I love her so much and I'm still gonna remember her. She was such a valuable part of my life, and it is a quick, like, split and change. And I mean, it is a really peculiar way of thinking, but it is something that I've had to kind of, like, wrap my head around, the fact that, you know, everything isn't just black and white. In a way, I will see my entire life like that. Just because I'm seeing the whites in every black situation, that doesn't mean I'm always happy or even cheerful in the situation. I could be completely and utterly depressed. I will still see the white, not the positive, the white. Happy Easter, guys. Jesus rose so I could have these massive tits. I have a B cup. Okay, now that I've kind of gone into my rant, the notes of the week that I've put down on this list is, and I think I can just kind of group them together. I truly believe that we were never meant to perceive ourselves the way that we do. We were probably just meant to see a reflection of ourselves in a pond or a lake or scavenging in the forest for berries. We were never meant to be so self-conscious or even be able to recognize ourselves. And I think that is honestly the downfall of beauty, natural beauty. And when I say natural beauty, I don't mean looking natural so then I can have a slim waist and fat ass and I can wear no makeup whilst I wear my Charlotte Tilbury. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. We were never meant to perceive ourselves the way that we do. We were never meant to even be able to recognize ourselves. There's so much beauty in the world as like women with big eyes and longer teeth and massive noses. Like, I mean, certain types of shapes and colors and sizes. The true beauty, and this is what I think a lot of people do not understand. I genuinely believe natural beauty I kind of had this idea whilst giving myself a blowout. The only reason I gave myself a blowout was because I ran out of conditioner and I have no money to go to the store and buy conditioner. So shut up. Apart from that, I would have just kept my curly hair. But I remember in high school, I used to be very bullied. Like, I mean bullied, that they would walk behind me and make like trombone sounds, or even to the point where I would be called like Hagrid and shit because of my long untamed curly hair. It was not nice. It really wasn't. But it is something that you kind of had to grow out of. And that's why around like the age of around the ages of like 14, 15, I started straightening my hair. And I kept straightening my hair until the age of maybe like, to be honest, I was still doing it in Italy. It was only until last year I actually started wearing my curly hair out. And you may think, but you know, you had a glow up at 18, like you were still that fierce hot girl. Like I was. But I remember being at a club in Italy and then this American guy, like in my head I looked so hot. Like it was like J-Lo, like a tube top and low-waisted flared jeans and like a bunch of like jewelry and my big curly hair. And it's like all sweaty and like, you know what I mean? Like sexy club. Like, I mean, like it was like, how deep is your love? You know, like high on drugs type vibes. And I remember I was just trying to get past and I tapped this guy on the shoulder. It was like, he was like a fucking sweaty ass, long hair, fuck off. And like, he was just like an asshole. And I tapped him on the shoulder to get past because my friend was 5'4" at the time. And he literally turned around at me and went, hell nah, you ain't coming near me. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, right. And I was like, dude, can I just get past? And he was like, oh. I said, yeah, fuck you. I ain't trying to chat to you. No one wants to chat to you. You went home. You stayed until the bar closed. Drunk as fuck, and no one went home with you. You got rejected by 3 other girls after me. I didn't even want to talk to you. I don't know why these certain instances knocked my confidence. I know I get on the internet, I say that that's a projection on them and it's not a reflection on my self-worth. But these things do knock your confidence, and for some reason I was conditioned to believe that it was my hair. Yes, I truly believe my hair was the reason people used to bully me. Not the fact that they have crippling families and they're going into debt. They have no self-worth of their own, so they have to bully someone else. No, I truly believe it was the fact that my curl pattern wasn't defined. Like, what the fuck? I had my hair out and I had it blown out, and it made me not feel as big as I actually was. It made me feel skinnier, it made me feel lighter. It made me feel like I didn't take up that much room. Even though when I look back at pictures, I'm like, girl, you were absolutely tiny. Why did you do that to yourself? I will never be as small as I was at the age of 15. And guess what? It was because I'm 15! I will never look as good as I did in 2019! Girl, you were 13. 13. 13. 13. 13? 13. Not 31. 13! I hate when people do that. I hate when they criticize themselves because I'll never look good as... Shut up. You were a teenager. Truly, I believe the true form of beauty is just natural uniqueness in a way. Like, look at Amy... Is it Amy Lou? Like, look at Amy Lou-Wood. She doesn't conform to the Hollywood standard. Literally, she just got an SNL skit made of her. I'm guessing without her consent because she was in the street crying, making fun of the way that she looks or the way that she speaks. You know what? Shut the fuck up. Because she may not meet Hollywood standards of beauty. But the thing is, Hollywood is genuinely gonna tear you the fuck up half of the time. You take her to France, you take her to Germany, you take her to Europe. France especially. She would be considered one of the most beautiful women out there. Just because it doesn't meet your standard of beauty does not mean this person is not beautiful. I fucking know her. She has an amazing heart. She's beautiful in her own way. She's so unique. And you know, deep down, kids, when we were in high school, when I was in high school, I would have loved that representation on TV. I would have loved it. There are so many kids out there that have the exact same situation with the way that they look, with the hair that they have, and they would have loved that representation on TV. You're going and crippling that one beacon of hope that they are considered beautiful in a way, because they are. No matter what you do, no matter what Hollywood does, we will always be considered beautiful. The most unique, and that sounds really narcissistic, but the most unique people that have these stretch marks and birthmarks and buck teeth in a way, or these really tiny lips, the most unique things about you are what makes you beautiful. Do not let anyone define your standard of beauty. It's what you make of it. You are going to change your personality, and you're going to change the way that you look, and you're going to change your thoughts 1,000 times in this life. Do not let someone underestimate the power that you have to succeed and thrive in an environment that isn't made for you. Just saying. She is beautiful, by the way. Like, actually fucking stunning. You should watch her in White Lotus right now. Speaking of things that I think are absolutely beautiful, art is dying. AI art is taking over, and I mean, I am not the person to talk about this, but how the fuck can everything else be taken over by AI, and the one thing that digital art has been out there. Graphic design, everything is graphic design. It has been out there for years, okay? That AI art is taking over. This is now when you want to throw everything else away and you want to only create... AI art used to be, like, unique in a way. I'm not the one to talk about this. I think Japan is the country that is banning AI art used in Studio Ghibli films or just anime in general, I think. I'm not sure, but it's something like that. Now that AI art is becoming, the norm, isn't this when we want to push actual art forms of oil painting and graphic design and glass blowing and whatever the fuck? Now these unique handmade things should be the most precious, but they're not. They're declining in value. Time and effort that has been put into these remarkable paintings and remarkable works of art, their value's declining because no one wants to buy them. Not only because we can't, because the economy's so bad, but I will talk about a fun fact about the economy in a minute. But because people will go, it's fine, I can just get the print online. I can just get the print online. Shut up. People would rather put a frame over their TV and then pick a picture of art than actually invest into something. I think it is so sad that in a way the value of art is dying. Not only is art styles dying, but the value of art's dying. One of my favorite paintings of all times is Carnation Lily by John Singer Sargent in 1885. It is such a beautiful painting. And the way I actually discovered this painting was I went on my first ever, it wasn't Hinge, it was Yubo, when I was 16 years old. It was actually so embarrassing. I went on a date with this guy and he was so not my type, and I don't know why I went out with him. I was a bit manic and he was like, hey, I've got weed, cool, come let's blaze it up. And I said, that's fine. And then he tried to be like all nonchalant and shit. And I knew that he wasn't into me. Like, I genuinely knew that he wasn't into me because, like, the way that he was treating me. And the thing is, we were gonna go blaze up and then we were right by South Bank, and we ended up walking all the way to the British Art Gallery, and it started pouring it down, like in the middle of April. And of course, free museum, so of course we're gonna go in. Raining it down, and we're walking around, and he's just trying to hold my hand and back me up into a corner. It's like, dude, we are in the middle of a museum. Like a bright-ass museum with people around because they are also not gonna walk around in the rain. The security guard's looking at me being like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. And I remember like running off and like scurrying off a tiny bit because this museum's massive. And I stumbled upon this one painting, which was Carnation Lily Rose. And I just fell in love with it. This really negative, like I don't mean like I was unsafe. I don't mean like I felt really like weird. I was creeped out. Like I mean, he was very nice. He was nice, but he wasn't for me. And I remember staring at this painting and just being in awe. And it made me feel, I'm gonna cry. It made me feel so fulfilled in a way. And I don't know why. It just moved me. And he felt really awkward and he just walked away from me. And I just sat down and I just kept staring at this painting. And for the people that don't know what it is, or can't see on screen, please do your research. But also, it's basically just two little girls, I think, in these beautiful little baby doll dresses, holding these lanterns in this lily field. It's oil on canvas. The painting depicts two small children dressed in white who are lighting paper lanterns as the day turns to evening. They are in a garden shown with pink. They are in a garden with pink roses, accents of yellow carnations and tall white lilies, possibly the Japanese mountains. I don't know why. It's in the tape written now, but it made me feel so pure. And every single time I look at it, I cry, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. I know my relationship with my dad hasn't always been the best, but something I think with age is we've started talking about art a lot more, and it's really nice. How do I put this? There's this really weird stigmatism around men and the emotions that a man can share, in the West at least. The emotions that a man can share, and if they can smile, and if they can cry, and if they can do this and they can do that. But the thing is, these traits that you would consider feminine, you look at Arabian culture, European culture, anywhere in Africa, even South America, and these things that you would consider feminine in a way of like speaking a different language, learning about art, embracing each other or dancing, these that you would consider gay or feminine, it is only feminine in the West. No matter what person I have met in these regions of the world, they dance, they sing, they embrace, they talk about art and poetry and literature. They can speak multiple languages and they want to learn, they want to develop, and they want to be happy. They see the beauty of a slow life and they see the beauty of the world around them. And this is why there's this weird saying that they're like infatuated lovers. They're amazing lovers. They're so slow and sentimental. Yeah. What girl doesn't want to have the world, the ground that she walks on worshipped? That doesn't make you gay. That doesn't make you any less of a man. It makes you feel connected. Because listen, girls have had to learn empathy and sympathy and care for each other and genuinely feel sentimental and sensitive since the moment that they were able to think. Conjure up a thought. Imagine how much of the bare minimum it is that a guy on the other side of the world who is like Latin and he's well spoken and he's educated because, you know, it's not considered gay to read books over there. He comes and like swoons her away. And you're like, but you know, like, I can't compete with him. Open up a book. This is why there's such a phenomenon right now that every girl that is watching like Love on the Spectrum is like, oh my God, Tanner and Connor, that they know the fact that they know consent. Think about how pathetic that is. How low the bar is in the West and you guys still can't do it. You still can't do it. And this is what I love. Like, I can sit there with the men in my family in Eastern culture and I can sit there and I can talk about art and literature and poetry and the art of crafting and baking in a way. Like, my mum was saying this morning whilst we were eating breakfast, she was like, I remember when I first gave birth to you, your dad came to visit me and he baked me a chocolate cake. Not once in my life has anyone, if I said that about like my boyfriend, he came to visit me in the hospital and he baked me a chocolate cake, the people around them would probably be like, that's so gay, why would you want to do that? You're so weird, that's so sick. Shut the fuck up. Your wife has just given birth and you've brought like her a sweet treat, like a home cooked meal. Is that not the biggest depiction of love? What the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, Carnation Lily Rose is one of my favorite paintings and it always has been and it always will be. And I love art and one day I hope to study it. I love art and I'm gonna work very hard to keep creating it and letting my inner child heal, being able to create and fill my room with beauty, having the slow-paced life that I used to dread and never wish for. Am I gonna cry in every single episode? I don't know. I think this podcast has done more healing for me than therapy ever could. I can articulate my words very well. I can say what I want to say. I can come out with the most deep sentences, but sitting in front of someone that I know is meant to help me never helps. I know they're being paid to help me. To be honest, when it comes to therapy, I feel more guilt when I don't reach an epiphany by the end of the hour. Why am I here? I can regulate my emotions and communicate so well, I convince myself that I don't need the help. Then the hour is worth nothing, in a way. But sitting here in front of you guys, it's healing in a way that not only do I get to go through this journey with you, but I get to learn and adapt, and with time to come, my emotions are gonna change, my thoughts are gonna change, and so many people are gonna try and cancel me. But I guess that's the point of healing, and that's the point of growing up, and you guys are growing with me, and I think that is so cool. So I guess, yeah, there will be a lot more tears shed on this podcast. The last thing that I thought was really cool that you guys... I completely like stemmed away from. Baby names are an indication, not only, I mean, yes, the world, the economy, fashion is all an indication of a recession, but so are baby names, which I think is really cool. I read this article saying unique baby names are more prevalent during times of economic hardship. A recent study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology has found that parents were less likely to give their babies common names in times of economic hardship based on baby names before, during, and after the Great Recession. The percentage of baby names receiving common names is an indicator of more community-based mentalities, whereas babies with uncommon names or unique names point to individualism. So in terms of the economy, parents wanting their children to stand out, there was a massive spring in names with Mercedes, Destiny, Legend, and I think that's really cool. So, with the next 25, 26 babies to come, what are we going to be naming them? I'm not planning to have any kids anytime soon, but maybe I will shed a light on my baby name list another time. But for now, thank you for listening to Messy Girl Hotline. I'll see you guys next week. I love yous, and I hope you enjoy your Easter. Bye!